Second one was we were coming home from church. We didn't often go to church at that time. I was probably 3, 4 years old, and I remember we were going by my great-grandmother's house, and this woman comes running out of her house, and she makes, gets in front of the car. My dad jumps out. It's like, what's wrong? She runs into her house, and he follows her in. After about 2 or 3 minutes, my mom got curious, and she said, why don't you go see what's going on? And I walked into the room, and all the lights in the house are just flashing on and off, and everything in the sink is literally like jumping up out of the sink. And my father's just standing there, just he doesn't know what to do. And the woman had a big silver serving spoon, I'll never forget, and she was banging on the counter, and she was saying, "By silver and fire, I cast you out. By silver and fire." And that's one of the very first concrete memories I ever had. So all through the years, growing up, like I said, I was born in the 70s, and I told Jake he is extremely fortunate to grow up at this time, because that time you start talking about ghosts and paranormal stuff and all that, most everybody in this room is nodding their heads like, you're automatically going to get branded a certain way. So we live in a great time. The internet has definitely helped in all that. So ever since I could get a library card and go and check out books and all that, I've been extremely interested in it. These things have followed me. I had a ghost that haunted his house that loved to do dishes, all the way up to some things that I would have to say were pretty nasty. So, that's come along with me. It was one of the few times I wanted something to follow me home. But like I said, then Jake, as he got older, he had questions, and because I got away from the paranormal world, work, kids, family, bills, the whole 9 yards. And it's like, I'm going to put this part of my life to the side for a little bit. But then he started asking questions, and the more questions he asked, and it's like, all right, I'm getting back into this world. So, it's been a fun ride over the last few years, getting to re-experience this with my son and all that.
You're welcome.
Some good has come from you, so I appreciate it.
Yes, not a total loss.
Not a total loss. I believe, when you're doing an investigation, when you're interacting with people and spiritual people, you be yourself. You be yourself, you be honest, you be true to yourself, you keep your core strong. And that has always got me through some dicey situations in investigations. I've collected everything from pictures that I will say is paranormal. You talk about Class A EVPs. We've had some pretty good EVPs. My favorite one is I was investigating a cemetery in Pocahontas, one of your favorite places. And I was in there and I was just mapping it out. I just wanted to scout the area. And part of the cemetery is right beside the road. So I've got my recorder on, I've got my little mic, and I'm just talking to myself, which I do even when I don't have a mic on. And part of it, like I said, it's right beside the road. And it's real noisy with cars and stuff coming by. And to myself, I said, I hate working, I hate being right here beside the road. Well, later on when I was reviewing the evidence and I said that, it was, I said, I come across and said, I hate being right beside the road. This old gruff voice come by and said, well, too bad, So you never know when you're going to get an experience. The second worst haunting I ever was involved in was in a brand new trailer. One of the funnest ones I ever had was, in an old house. I mean, you never know how, when, or where we're going to interact with these things. So, that's why it's always best, to keep one eye open and always be looking and always be questioning. And I think that's one of the things, the whole child aspect come up. I think as we get adults and we get older, we lose some of the magic out of the world. And we start looking at things also clinically and logically. And I think that blocks a lot of the spirit world from interacting with us. And I think the more of that magic we can capture back as adults, the more that we can see and interact with what's going on the other side.
Very true.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent, what you just said that. Which is the best piece of equipment you like to use and why?
Well, Jake stole my line. I was going to say, the personal stuff, 9 times out of 10 when I'm investigating, I love my smartphone. I was so against this, y'all don't even understand, about getting a smartphone. But now you can do so much with it, especially, trying to capture information and evidence, video, film, just whatever you want to do. It's right here. 9 times out of 10, I'm walking around and I've got my phone and I got my flashlight all in the same hand, and I'm constantly doing this number here. Of course, I love the K2 meter, detects EMF, electromagnetic field disturbances. You have to be careful with these because, excuse me, there was a couple times we thought, we get hit, somebody forgot they had a phone in their pocket, and all that. It will pick up electronics. We were in a house, it's back in the middle of the woods, West Virginia, And this place had been habited for 10 years. I think when we went into it, the EMF started going off in certain parts of the house when we walk around. And it's like, there's no way it's electricity. It's got to be something, a haunting. It's got to be a ghost. It's got to be something. Well, then we got to really paying attention where we were pointing it. The house was built, when it was built, they used the thick copper wires. So for some reason, that thick copper wire was picked up by this thing, because we got to tracing it. Sure enough, you could trace it from an outlet going across and to a light fixture. So any piece of equipment, it's only as good as the investigator. I do love equipment, although we're very much a sensitive type. I won't say sensitive type. That's the wrong way to put it. I believe in using your six senses, and I believe everybody has six senses. But it's neat when you can feel something, and then your meter goes off, and then the spirit rod starts spinning, or when you can corroborate evidence, one piece to another and all that. To me, that's when it gets really interesting, and that's when the true skeptics out there have to say, well, maybe there's something to this. So that's my life in a nutshell with paranormal so far. Anybody got any questions, thoughts?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say, since you're, really from the Bible Belt area, how does people that know you, how do they, look at this part of your life? I mean,
well, when I was younger,
yeah.
I was that odd guy,
Odd's good.
And plus, I kept a lot of this hid. And another secret about the Bible Belt, that part of West Virginia and all that, yes, it's demons. You're messing with demons. Everything's a demon. TV shorts out, it was the devil, whatever. Secretly, though, you get these people one-on-one in the kitchen on a Saturday night, and you're talking to them over a glass of lemonade, they got a story for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They believe they got a story for you. I think I was talking to some of y'all out there, and all that. Growing up, everybody's like, oh, if it isn't from God or the church, it's the devil and all that. But everybody knew, the little old granny lady in the holler that could bust teeth, or that knew how to make a certain kind of tea, or, everybody knows that stuff. And like I said, it's a whole lot more under the surface than what people that's not in the culture realize. So that kind of helped me out a lot.